Okay, there's a lot of talk about energy out there. Energy vampires, empaths feeling drained, feeling like they're picking up on all this stuff out there. I want to address this because this is energy, and I want to talk to you about how it works, how you can control it, how the big picture looks versus what you're experiencing, and how everything interacts, because this is in your 100% control, even though we share collective consciousness. All right? So stay tuned, because I'm going to show you not only, if you're an empath, how to handle this, but anybody can shift their energy and completely feel different if you choose it. Now, you ready to do that? Let's go. Am I too close to the camera? I have to sit close to the window because it's really dark. We have a storm coming through. All right, we're going to talk about energy vampires. First of all, I'm going to address a few of these subject matters: energy vampires, empaths, and people feeling drained, picking up on other things. This is a very important subject because so many of you are telling me that you're an empath and that all these people affect you. Everybody's an empath. Everybody. If you are feeling drained by other people as an empath, you feel that you're picking up on negativity, I'm going to ask you why. There's good, positive energy out there too. Why are you telling me that you have the negative energy feelings? What happens is, if your own energy is on a low frequency, you're going to pick up on lower frequencies. You have to resonate to really allow it to affect you in a big way. If you're on a high frequency, you have a defense mechanism that surrounds you with the ability to not allow it to affect you in that way. In other words, it blows through you. Energy cannot be created nor destroyed. It does shift. There are energy shifts, and energy beings can drain energy from certain sources. You cannot be drained of your energy, because you are energy. You are actually part of the very thing that you believe is draining you. That's a fact, that you are part of one energy happening. All right? So if it's a shift, it's because everything's a frequency. And if you are on a lower frequency, you're going to be more susceptible to picking up on the lower frequencies. And of course, then you're telling your story, I'm picking up on that. If you're on a high frequency, you'll feel it. It's not that you stop feeling this stuff. You'll feel it, but it doesn't affect you because you're not reacting to it anymore. You see it differently. You're already in a high frequency, so you just experience it. And you do what I teach my students, and that is you observe. Come on over and take one of my classes. Take the Miracle Circle, because I'm going to tell you what we do. We learn through the Master Key System how to control our thoughts and stories and beliefs and feelings about everything that's going on, because we are actually creating that. So if you're picking up on all that, you are participating in it. Not something happening to you out there. Oh, it's happening. Why? Because you have to be entangled with it to even experience it in the first place. Now, we are a collective, and we are going to pick up on some weird feelings, but if you're on your high frequency, and this is why it's so important to go into that high frequency, then it doesn't have the same effect on you. All right? You might even feel tired sometimes because you're still in a physical body that is dense, but that's changing too. We're raising our frequencies. Our DNA is evolving. Everything is pumping up to handle this expansive energy field of the new earth, the great awakening, the big shift that's going on. So our bodies have to be able to handle that when we go into that super high awakened state. If you're not working on that and you're feeling all this other stuff, then you have to train yourself how to deal with it and see it differently. Oh, my fellow man and woman is feeling that. Instead, you may be feeling, it's a threat, it's bad, oh, it's draining me. That's the ego. That's the ego, right? And so if you think about this, it's all about me and they're causing that. No, they aren't. That is you. That's an aspect of you. All of it is. When you, here's the key. When you go into a high frequency and you're working on it every day, you have to, because we're on a dense planet. This is our job, right? This is everybody's mission. People always ask me what their purpose is. I said, here, you're in it. You know, raise your frequency, experience things as your chosen body, and have an adventure. So when you go into high frequency, you affect the collective consciousness. When you allow it to affect you, then you are not using your power to create that out there, and you are actually entangled with low density thinking, feelings, and then you believe it somehow has power and control over you, and that makes it so for you. What you believe and think is true for you. So don't be telling everybody else, you know, you need to do this, you need to do that, because their reality is real for them. It's 100% real. That's why arguing is fruitless. Why people argue, I don't know. I respect your opinion. You don't have to believe anything I say. However, I want to empower you. I want to empower you so that you are completely generating that hologram on your own behalf in the highest possible frequency. That's why I created the Miracle Circle. I don't just show people how to manifest things they desire. I help them to do it on a high frequency, because when you go into that space, it's amazing. Just amazing. All right, so what are we going to talk about now? Energy vampires. Do you really believe somebody could suck the energy out of you and you just happen to be a victim? Ah! No. Ah! Oh, I was just minding my own business. I don't do. No. There are no coincidences, no chaos. There is no accident ever in the universe. All of it is part of a plan, an agreement, co-creation, an entanglement. All of it is. All right? So if something happens to you, it is your opportunity to understand that that person actually cannot suck the energy out of me. It's impossible. I would have to participate in that. Physically, certain things can happen to you, but then you can change that too. You can remove yourself. You, if you're on a high frequency, have more power over them. The light has more power than the dark. So if you have light and you are in a situation which you feel is an energy vampire, I don't even believe that stuff, by the way, personally. That's just my personal opinion. I don't believe it. I think people believe it, so they create it and they make it up, and so it's true. If you believe in hell, hell's true for you. Probably go to hell for a while before you figure out it's just a fabrication. Everything's a fabrication, a hologram for you to experience. So if you think there's an energy vampire, if you think that you are not that powerful or you're so weak that somebody else could actually do that, then it is so. Your wish is granted. Your thoughts are granted. Yeah, your beliefs are granted. They go into thoughts, which go into actions, which go into, hey, I am weak, come on in. And so they do. So if you are a force to reckon with, like if you walk in the room and there's a beam of light, and which is your protection system, your whole field is a high frequency. If it's a high frequency, that's 100% protection. Nothing can penetrate that. Darkness cannot penetrate light. So if you're going into the gray areas, then there are some openings there. And that's what people think are energy vampires. They're actually in fear themselves. Because if, like I said, if you experience that, it's not that you never experience that stuff. It has no effect on you anymore. And so they're like, nah, he's no fun to play with. She's no fun. Let's go find somebody who's afraid of us. Yes. And that's why certain bullies pick on weak people. Because they're cowards themselves, right? They're the ones we need to blast, the bullies. They're the ones that feel most insecure. Why? They have to prove something, so they do it by picking on weak. The meek shall inherit the earth. That's what that means. The meek are the ones that aren't pushing people around, that aren't arguing, that aren't telling everybody this is how the world works. They don't empower other people. They try to power over other people. So we're going to deal with that. That's part of what we signed up for. Not to be afraid, not to be judged. It just is. That's their role playing out. What are you going to do when you are entangled with that? You don't have to become entangled with it. No one can drain your energy. It cannot be created nor destroyed. It always was. You just to get to pick your frequency, and that is when you become more expansive and powerful, or more confined and in the ego, dense. Lower frequency here. So that's very vulnerable. When you go out here, this beautiful light, that's how it works. And so energy, we don't even know, we can't even begin to know a fraction of the quantum physical world, right? And that is, everything is connected. So if that other person or thing or situation seems to be draining you, it is actually a part of you. So you're actually interacting with it because there's something in it for you to learn, to master, being tested, or invited in because you're down in the cellar with the mold and stinky dark room. And everybody else down there is, you know, in the dark trying to find their way around, and it's very unpleasant. If you're up in the penthouse, clear view, champagne up there, come on up, but you can't get up there unless you raise your frequency. You can't just get on the elevator and go up. You might get up a few floors and then you're on with those people. And so people that would like to drain your energy will be on those floors. And they're going to go, "Ooh, here's another one." They go up in the top floor. Nobody's even paying. They can't even get to the top floor. But if they were to accidentally get off the elevator, they would absolutely get hit with an energy field. Have you ever felt that? Have you ever had somebody blast you with an energy field? A really good one, I mean. We've all felt the negativity. I hear that, all the negativity. Okay, yeah. You know, get off the planet if you signed up for it, right? But what about those positive energy fields? Have you ever been hit with one where there's just a presence and you get hit with this amazing energy? I experienced that with chanting monks, Buddhist monks, that chanted for a couple of hours, and I got hit twice. It practically like blew me off my chair. It was so powerful. And they had this sound. And when they got going, it built up, and I just got hit. How did I get hit? My friend didn't experience that. How did I get hit? Because I was in a high frequency and I was open to it. I allowed it. I didn't have barriers up here, right? So I was open and I invited and it went boom, and it was beautiful. What you say yes to is invited in. It's all up to you. And I'm going to talk about in the next video the shift that is happening right now. A big one. Ooh, it's getting dark out there. All right, so sign up for Manifest Anything, free video series. It's down in the description. Go to landriaonkka.com and explore. I've got some great stuff coming out for you. Manifest Anything is free, but if you want to pay $29.95, you'll get a whole month of the Miracle Circle where we get trained on controlling this, going into that high level space, that high frequency. How does that work? Meditations and a live Miracle Circle every month, and you get a whole month of training practices and the live meditation, the live session where I actually talk to you live for 30 minutes before we go into a 30-minute, sometimes longer session. Why? I want to empower you. You don't need anybody else. When you go into that space, you're going to be totally connected. You're going to get it. You're going to realize nothing harms you. There's no technique. There's no mantra. There's no nothing. Not when you're on that level. Those are just fun additions. But that's not what creates something. You create it. And you and I have equal power. If you don't think so, all right, that's your choice. Get ready for those energy vampires. I don't know where they are. I haven't met one yet. You are whole and perfect, strong and powerful, loving, harmonious, and happy. Every time you see this, these are free videos training people how to create online business. And I have a new business online opening up, spiritually conscious online businesses, where I train people how to create businesses that make a positive impact on the world and generate income for you, so maybe you can quit the job that's destroying the planet, or your energy field, taking it down, right? No, we can't. Nobody can do that. You have to. So if you're in a situation like a job or anything like that, and it's taking you down, you're choosing to be in the job, right? So you have to walk away from that and separate yourself. The job doesn't take it from you. You're choosing the job. Does this make sense? Yeah. You know what? You're whole and perfect, strong and powerful, loving, harmonious, and happy. Blessings, my friend. I'll see you in the next video. Namaste.